Good morning, everybody. Good morning, dear guests. I'm El Iqlil Sami from the Mohammed VI Foundation for Environmental Protection, and I have with us our main stakeholders regarding the Seas and Ocean Program, namely Mr. Ridwan Al-Bizi from the DGCT, Directorate General for Territorial Collectivity, which aim from the Ministry of Interior. We have also the SDS, the Corporation of the Development of Saidia, is private sector, which is our stakeholder on the clean beaches, and of course Madam Menna Tatiana, that I want to thank for this opportunity that they gave us in these beautiful pavilions. As you say the title, so the side event will be around the operation that is initiated by the Mohammed VI Foundation, namely Seas Without Plastic campaign. It's a campaign that was launched in 2019 with cooperation with different stakeholders, institutional, NGOs, and the private sector. So we choose all these stakeholders in order to have different point of view of their intervention regarding the plastic waste problem, and secondly about the recycling process. So before we start, I would like to give the floor to Mrs. Tatiana to have an overview of a regional and an international partner that is leading this intervention around the Mediterranean Sea. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sami. I'm honored and very pleased to be together with you today in this side event. The policy on the partners that UNEP-MAP has given an important role to the non-governmental organization, a role that they have fulfilled and continue to fulfill with a lot of commitment. And you have the thanks from me on behalf of the Secretariat and of our contracting parties. And your foundation is one of the most recent partners to the UNEP-MAP system, and we are very pleased to have collaborated with you and will continue our collaboration. Today, this side event is focusing on how different Mediterranean actors could interfere based on their different profiles, being NGO, private sector, institutional, with their scope of work in order to support the establishment of a circular economy dynamics, in particular regard to the plastic waste. Of course, with a focus on the Mediterranean coast and sea, that is, at least from our perspective, our priority. So I would like to give you some insight from what UNEP-MAP Barcelona Convention has done at the regional level, guiding in a way the action at the national level, not only for the policymakers, but also, if possible, for also other actors in the region. Now, we all know and we say, and there is no need for me to repeat, that the Mediterranean currently is facing the triple planetary crisis: pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change. And has to be resolved. We are not yet there. We are far away, but has to be resolved, and we definitely need to change the pattern towards sustainable consumption and production if we have to achieve what we have already committed. From our perspective, since 1975, the scope of UNEP-MAP Barcelona Convention gradually expanded from pollution to biodiversity, integrated coastal zone management, from cleaner production to sustainable consumption and production, and circular economy. So this is very important. The system grew, guiding, providing, supporting, but also grew professionally in order to capture and to face the challenges that the region is facing. Now, you are aware that on marine litter and plastic pollution, the Mediterranean region and UNEP-MAP was the very first one that developed the legally binding measures for a proper management of marine litter in the region. And these are very important measures, which the first version that was approved in 2013 did address the prevention, and some elements of circular economy. However, the focus was on reduction of marine litter, as I said, with element of prevention, reduction of impact of marine litter, management of plastic pollution, but a little bit focusing more on end of pipe, so after. We did revise it substantively, the regional plan in 2021, and now what prevails is the prevention, which means that measures related to economic instruments, measures related to sustainable consumption and production, measures related to the prevention of microplastic pollution. So it's quite interesting, and it's going in a direction, and we look forward that this experience in the Mediterranean will be also taken into consideration during the global negotiation of the Plastic Pollution Treaty, which is under negotiation now at global level. Now, the implementation of circularity and sustainable consumption and production approaches, it's a very important part of the solutions that we offer to achieve good environmental status of marine and coastal environment and to reduce ecological footprint. And we just had a side event before this one, which also can contribute to mitigate climate change because of the fact that more sustainable consumption and production we implement in our own life, less emission are going to be emitted. So it's also very important from this perspective. Now, let me give you some elements on what are the concrete measures that contracting parties to the Barcelona Convention, 21 Med countries plus European Union, they have agreed in order to address the issue of marine litter, in order to address the issue of plastic pollution, and to address the issue of the microplastic pollution. So I'm mentioning some of them because, okay, we can disseminate the regional plan, but I'm going to go through very quickly. First, to phase out single-use plastic items and to promote reuse option. We didn't have this in the previous version of the regional plan. The second, to set targets for plastic recycling and other waste items. To introduce economic instruments such as environmental taxes, bans, EPR from plastic sea-based and land-based, to support the application of prevention measures, as I already said, in order to go for circular economy, to reduce packaging to the extent possible, to promote voluntary agreement with industry, to take measures to integrate the informal sector of the solid waste collection into regulated waste collection and recycling schemes. This is very important, in particular in some Mediterranean countries, because we do promote, because they are doing a great job, even though they work informally. But important is that little by little they can be integrated in the formal sector of the waste management. Definitely to strengthen measures related to sustainable consumption and production, to enhance public awareness, and to enhance education. We definitely need to prepare the young people, the generation, for the next period. Now, we have committed in the region towards a litter-free Mediterranean, which is very ambitious, very demanding. We know that, I would not exaggerate if we can say that Mediterranean is 3 hotspots. The first on climate change, that we all know. The second one on marine litter 2, we have a big issue. And the third one is a good one, is a biodiversity in terms of richness. So there are 3 hotspots with different colors, but it's important that we need to handle the issue of marine litter in the region because of the transboundary pollution, now you find it anywhere, and it's not necessary that you find marine litter in Albania that is generated in Albania, but it can go to Morocco, for example. So I'm trying to say that it's very important to handle it in a very effective way. So we are helping the contracting parties, and there are very good examples in Mediterranean. The colleagues, they have told me that out of 21 contracting parties, we have already 17 which has banned the single use of plastic bags. This is already a very important commitment, and the work is ongoing to introduce other regulatory frameworks at national level in order to prevent pollution from the plastic pollution. Now, what we do in the MAP, our system, we have 2 components that are very important that support the work of the countries with regard to the marine litter and plastic pollution. Is the Regional Activity Center for Sustainable Consumption and Production, Medwaves is a new name. I'm not yet familiar with it. I prefer the old one, but it's a center in Barcelona that I'm sure that you all know about. And the second, which mainly addresses the sustainable consumption, production, and circular economy aspect. When in the Secretariat we have the MedPol program, which address mainly monitoring, assessment, and control measures, which means that, for example, measures adopt a beach that require a very important involvement of civil society, measures like fishing for litter that require a lot of involvement from the fishermen. I think that we cannot do it without them, and from local community. We also support a lot the role of civil society in monitoring and assessment. Now in the Mediterranean we have a very clear methodology and protocol, so it means that whatever monitoring that is being done, being a lab of the state or being an NGO, as far as they do implement harmonized protocol, it means that the data that is collected is reported correctly, recorded correctly, and can be used for different purposes. So this is kind of work that we have done, and we are very lucky because there are also many other projects through UFM, in collaboration with UFM as well. For example, you have heard about the Plastic Buster project. It has been mentioned in a number of side events. We have our own project on marine litter funded from European Union, Marine Litter Med 1, Marine Litter Med 2. There are also many other projects related to marine litter, like in the Blue Med, if I'm not wrong. So there is a momentum now in the region. So there is a very strong offer. There is also the WES, the former Horizon 2020. So there is a very strong momentum that we, countries, civil society, different organizations, really can work in a way in order to have concrete impact at country level. So we can, little by little, go and we say in maybe 5 or 10 years' time, yes, we do manage to have a litter-free Mediterranean. So this I wanted to say. So thank you very much for this, and we are all together. We cannot act alone in isolation. This is an issue that we have all to play an important role, and I'd like to thank you very much, in particular civil society, for a great contribution. And let me not forget saying that we also have built a regional platform on marine litter in the Mediterranean. I don't know if your foundation, Mrs. Tam, is a member of it. I think we can look at it, but the intention is to bring together all regional organizations that do address plastic pollution and marine litter in the Mediterranean, to see in ways and means to coordinate our action, to support countries effectively in order to see exactly on the ground concrete result, as I said, to move little by little but in a very determined way towards a litter-free Mediterranean. So thank you very much. Now, I am a little bit in a hurry. I'll stay 5 more minutes.
Yes.
Because I have to go to another side.
No worries,
event.
no worries, no worries. Thank you so much, Mrs. Zema, for all this overview of the intervention of the map. I forgot to mention that this year Morocco has hosted the Coast Day at Tangier, where we had the honor to meet Mr. Hena, and the cooperation between the foundation and the map is not it's far away. We can say that in 2008, Her Highness Princess Lala Hasna was nominated Ambassador of the Coach. I thank you for all the points that you highlight, Mrs. Hena. I would like to start from 3 key points that you mentioned. The first one is the volunteer agreements with the private sector, which we have. This is why we have a representative of private sector. The implication also of NGO, some that are the human resources, the bases that are working on the field. So starting from these 2 points, I would like to share with you a presentation about the whole process of the operation and how the foundation has made it possible to join all these stakeholders toward the same targets. If you might. Okay. Thank you. Well, 1 minute. So I'll start with thank you, Mr. Hema, for your time, for your no worries. So I will start with the presentation and overview about the foundation mission and vision. The Mohammed VI Foundation for Environmental Protection was created in 2001 by His Majesty the King Mohammed VI and shared by His Highness Princess Lalla Hasna. The first two missions are to promote the protection of the environment and the improvement of the living environment, and to promote the right to education, a healthy environment, and sustainable development, and to be aware to prepare future generation, like to assume the responsibility for sustainable development. As you can see, we have many programs. We will focus on the main program, which is coastal preservation. There's also other programs related to coast, like the sustainable tourism. We can say the blue flag label for the beaches. And there is other programs that are transverse, like environmental education, climate, air quality, restoring historic garden, and the safeguard of development of Palmyra of Marrakesh. Mr. Sema mentioned also the legally binding instrument toward plastic pollution that has been initiated in the UN 5 in 2021, that was approved by about 175 countries, and there is international negotiation committee that are working on, and the particularity is that Morocco will will be the president of the second UNIA 6.2. That we hope that this legally binding instrument will be revealed. So directly I will pass to the Clean Beach program. The Clean Beach program is a program that is initiated by the foundation with many stakeholders, private sector, institutional, and NGO. We have reached the cap of 100 beaches around all the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Sea, from the north to the south. So we have this kind of convention between all the stakeholders, private sectors, institutional, local communities, and also NGO, to make all the infrastructure, action, awareness around the beaches. So there is some aspects of some beaches that are sponsored by different partners. There's also an interest about the sea and the beaches, considering not only the environmental aspects, but also the touristic aspect. So as you know, the seaside tourism has, like yachting and water sport, provide jobs for all community. We can see some numbers, like we can say that the tourism sector now employ 1 in 11 people worldwide. So there is also a socio-economic aspect for the intervention of the foundation behind the environmental aspect. The second one is that, as I said, there is many fragility factors of aquatic resource due to the mass model tourism that affect, for a part, the governance. We mean by governance that the monitoring, as Madam Hena said, of this area involve a lot of stakeholders, considering each area of their intervention. So one of the main objectives of the foundation is to sit all the stakeholders around the same table and to define the area of their intervention in order to work toward the same objective. The second one is, as everybody knows, is the impact on environment on space due to the human activity. And there is another aspect, that there is a precarious characterizing the traditional model compared to the ITC that are not used by the good way in monitoring all the sea and the beach area. So the Clean Beach program works like that. So we have the foundation that initiates and facilitates and coordinates all the projects. We have a national committee which is constituted by institutional actors that are in charge of a part of the monitoring of the beach. We have with us the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Tourism, etc. There is also a part of civil society. We have more than 300 local associations and NGO federation Their role is to support the municipality and economic partner in implementation of awareness raising action. There is also 27 public and private economic partner. We have the honor to with us the Society of the Development of Saidia. This is one of them, who are the sponsor of a beach in Saidia, which is located in the Mediterranean area. So they provide technical and financial support under a partnership agreement with the municipality and the foundation. There is also a local authority represented by coastal town. We have around 63 coastal towns that are involved, and also a local committee. So the local committee is kind of a local representation of the national committee that is in charge of responsible of regular monitoring and implementation of the action. I mentioned also the blue flag, which is an international label, which is it is based on a rigorous international criteria considering battering water quality, but also safety, beach and back shores, development, and environmental awareness. And each day with the coordination with the Foundation of Environmental Education, which is located in Denmark, we award the best beaches in Morocco this blue flag. So in 2022, it's the card mentioned 2021, but in 2022, we had 28 beach that has the blue flag and 2 marina. We have also, beside that, a competition which is called the Lalahsna Sustainable Coastline Awards. It's a competition that aims to create a momentum into all the profile of the society, private sector, NGOs, institutional, in order to award the best practices, project, initiative toward the preservation and protection of the coastline. It is declined in 5 categories in order to receive all kind of initiative provided by all profile. We have Clean Beach Program, Sharing a Living Environment Awards, Protection and Enhancement of Natural Heritage, Education and Youth, and Social Environmental Responsibility of organizations. So the idea is to offer a large proposal of area of intervention for different profile, considering their area of intervention. So this is an overview of the evolution of the intervention in the foundation between 1999 and 2020, or let's say 2022. So we started by acting on the beaches between until 2014. There was a Clean Beach Program, and there was an award which is called Clean Beach Trophies Award, that awarded the best practices on beaches. So after making some partnership with national and international partner, including MAP, the Mediterranean Action Plan, the foundation sees that the intervention should not be limited to the beaches, considering that the beaches are only the receive or are kind of KPI of the profile of the coastline. So in between 2014 and 2020, we launched the Lalahsna Sustainable Coastline Award, which reward all the action, including all the aspects of all the area of the coastline. And we launched also the Seas Without Plastic campaign that I will develop later. And finally, between 2020 and 2030, the foundation has been make a cooperation with the IUC UNESCO, which is in charge of the Ocean Decade, where His Highness is now the sponsor of the Alliance of the Ocean Decade. So this is the evolution of the area of intervention of the foundation, considering this item. So as I say, in 2021, we had the privilege that the IUC UNESCO gave His Highness Lalahsna the title of sponsor of the Alliance, and the foundation is now a member of this decade, the Alliance, by initiating convention and other action and participation around the world. So without lasting so long, the seas without plastic operation is challenges. So we made each year 3 main challenges. The first challenges that launched in 2019 was to mobilize at least 1 million youth. The second one was to reach at least 10,000 action with youth. And finally, to collect at least 10 tons of plastic of each beaches. So the figure represents some KPI, like for example, in 2019, we have 1.4 million youth that were mobilized, 49,000 action that were initiated, and about 486 tons of plastic that was collected from the beaches. It's around 8 tons of plastic from each beaches. So in 2021, we have added a new challenges, that is waste of, is the recycling of the collected plastic waste that was collected during the summer period, which start in 15 June to 15 September. So we have the KPI of the different challenges: 1,521 metric ton, 61,000 action, 1.8 million youth mobilized, and 38% of the plastic waste that was collected was included into the recycling process. How we do that? So the foundation rallied partners to evacuate and transport and recycle the waste collected beaches as in this operation by mobilizing private company, association, and cooperative. So by doing this, creating this synergy, we have made, we try to ensure to make this momentum about circular economy around the beaches. So this is some evolution between the different years and the different editions, that we know that there is an evolution and an immobilization of all stakeholders around the operation. We have made also some action with youth and the professional diver. So to summarize the modus operandi of this operation, we have 3 main axes. The first axis is a better synchronized action. So we have to define concerned objective, have the key messages to share with our stakeholders, and make priority targets. The second one is to be better coordination. So we have made some action plan timeable to our stakeholder in order to follow them, have agreed an assessment of all the indicator, and have made common indicator for all the operation. And finally, to have a successful operation, we have to define the type of action that all stakeholders have to make on the ground, and have shared resources about what kind of action, what is some information about the issue that they could use in their action. So this is the whole process of the operation, and I thank you for your attention. Yeah. So I will give the floor to the representative of the SDS, Society of Development of Saidia, which is a private company which is sponsor the beach of Saidia, which is situated in the Mediterranean area, to share with us their intervention on the ground and the different aspects of their main intervention. The floor is yours.
Good morning. We are very happy to be here. We are in charge of sustainable development at the Saidia Development Company, which is we are in charge of sustainable development at the Saidia Development Company, which is responsible for supervising and promoting Saidia resorts on Morocco's East Mediterranean coast. Morocco is an active participant in international efforts to preserve the planet. Saidia Development Company is especially involved in contributing to the sustainable development of our country through its partnership with the Mohammed VI Foundation for the protection of the environment. For several years, Saidia Development Company has participated in the Clean Beaches program for the cleanliness and the protection of the coast. In the following slides, we would like to share with you some of our experience and achievements. Let's get started with the tourist resort presentation.
So the Clean Beaches program encompasses different goals based on the values of protection, safety, awareness, and comfort. Providing the beaches with the necessary equipment for cleanliness and respect of the environment is one of the pillars of these goals. We therefore ensure first the development of the beaches for the satisfaction and enjoyment of our thousands of daily visitors. We also endow the necessary equipment for this, whether it is sanitary, safety, or environmental awareness. Secondly, to ensure our compliance with the program, we provide each side with the team for the daily cleaning of the beaches in addition to the sand screening operation. These steps are completed by the aspects of awareness to which we attribute a major importance. This aspect is attained by two ecological associations fighting for the protection of the environment by mobilizing more than 4,000 young people this year by making them participate in more than 450 diversified actions. These young people were able to collect 7,800 plastic bottles in a campaign of collects. The two associations were able to contribute favorably to the goals predefined on a national scale by the foundation. Through various recycling and sorting workshops and awareness training, we summarize our actions in this video. Thank you for attention.
Thank you so much for summarizing all the activity, but I have to say that they are not limited on this video. The Society of Development in Saidia is a long partner of the foundation. There's many actions that include all during the summer period that I want to thanks for their engagement and involvement in the clean beaches. So finally, I will give the floor to Mr. Bizi Radwan, who are in charge in the Director General of Collective Territories. So they are presenting the Ministry of Interior, the institutional part of the monitoring of this operation. Go.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Samy. Honorable assistance, je veux tout d'abord vous annoncer que vous pouvez visualiser les slide event en anglais. Et moi, permettez-moi de parler en français pour vous présenter un peu le rôle.
What Radwan is saying is he will make his presentation in French, but the slides are in English. You can follow. And then if there is any question, we say it will remain at your disposal. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Donc, je suis ravi d'être avec vous aujourd'hui pour vous présenter quand même le rôle de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales au Maroc dans l'accompagnement des collectivités territoriales. Okay. Dans l'accompagnement des collectivités territoriales pour la sauvegarde du littoral et la valorisation des plages et des sites balnéaires. Donc ma présentation va Ma présentation va se dérouler en 4 points. Premièrement, je vais vous présenter les missions de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales du Maroc. Puis on passe au cadre juridique lié à cette thématique d'aujourd'hui, à savoir la valorisation des plages et la sauvegarde et la protection du littoral. On passe après pour vous présenter quelques données sur le littoral marocain. Et au niveau du 4e point, on va vous présenter quelques domaines d'intervention de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales pour la sauvegarde du littoral et pour la valorisation des plages. Premièrement, les missions de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales du Maroc qui relèvent du ministère de l'Intérieur, et la commission est chargée de la préparation des décisions du ministre de l'Intérieur dans le cadre des attributions qui lui sont conférées en vertu des textes législatifs et réglementaires relatifs aux collectivités territoriales et du suivi de leur exécution. Il assure également l'appui et l'accompagnement juridique, technique et financier des collectivités territoriales. Bien sûr, au Maroc, on parle de collectivités territoriales du maillon le plus grand vers le maillon le plus petit de la région, en passant par la province, préfecture jusqu'à commune. Une autre mission de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales, elle est chargée également, en coordination avec les départements et organismes concernés, de concourir au développement durable. Concernant l'attribution, en relation bien sûr avec cette thématique d'aujourd'hui, ça concerne la loi organique numéro 113-14 relative aux communes. Et là, on trouve parmi les compétences partagées entre l'État et la commune, on trouve que la commune exerce des compétences partagées avec l'État. Elle peut contribuer à plusieurs actions, mais notamment la gestion du littoral situé dans le territoire de la commune conformément aux lois et règlements en vigueur. Aussi, il y a une autre compétence partagée avec l'État, c'est l'aménagement des plages, des corniches, des lacs, des rives de fleuves situés dans le ressort territorial de la commune. On passe maintenant à vous présenter quelques données sur le littoral marocain. Donc le littoral marocain s'étale sur une longueur de 3500 km. Il dispose de 2 façades maritimes, une méditerranéenne et l'autre atlantique. Comme vous pouvez voir sur le tableau, concernant la façade maritime, on a 7 préfectures et provinces littorales, on a 25 communes littorales, 66 plages ouvertes à la baignade et 12 plages ayant eu le label Pavillon bleu en 2022. Concernant la façade atlantique, on a 28 préfectures et provinces littorales, 74 communes et 163 plages ouvertes à la baignade, dont 16 ont eu le label Pavillon bleu en 2002. En total, on a 35 préfectures et provinces littorales, 99 communes, 229 plages ouvertes à la baignade en 2022, dont 28 plages ont eu le label Pavillon bleu en 2022. Donc on passe au domaine d'intervention de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales pour la sauvegarde du littoral et pour la valorisation des plages. Donc la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales joue pleinement son rôle d'accompagnement juridique, technique et financier des collectivités territoriales pour l'aménagement et la valorisation des plages. Il s'agit de la production d'une circulaire conjointe entre le ministère de l'Intérieur et le ministère de l'Équipement pour la mise à disposition des plages au profit des communes, parce qu'au Maroc, les plages, il appartient au ministère de l'Intérieur, elles font partie du domaine public maritime. Donc, d'où la nécessité de produire une circulaire qui encadre un peu cette mise à disposition des plages au profit des communes. Il y a une autre action, c'est l'accompagnement, bien sûr, du programme Plage propre piloté par la Fondation Mohamed VI pour la protection de l'environnement. Et une autre action, c'est la conception et la mise en œuvre d'un autre programme complémentaire au programme Plage propre qui s'appelle Mise à niveau des sites balnéaires. Concernant la production d'une circulaire conjointe entre le ministère de l'Intérieur et le ministère de l'Équipement, les principales dispositions de cette circulaire, c'est la constitution d'une commission préfectorale provinciale des plages, la contractualisation entre la commune et le ministère de l'Équipement pour la mise à disposition de la plage au profit de la commune, et l'élaboration d'un plan d'utilisation et d'utilisation et de gestion de la plage, et enfin la nomination d'un directeur de plage. Une autre action d'intervention de la DGT s'agit de l'accompagnement du programme Plage propre piloté par la Fondation Mohamed VI pour la protection de l'environnement. Et là, les principales actions entreprises par la DGT, c'est le suivi, d'exécution de partenariat entre la commune et les différentes parties prenantes pour l'aménagement et la gestion des plages, la participation aux visites inopinées effectuées par le Comité national plage propre pour l'évaluation de la gestion des dites plages, et enfin la participation aux travaux du Comité national plage propre, notamment pour l'octroi du label Pavillon bleu. Concernant la troisième action d'intervention de la Direction générale des collectivités territoriales, à savoir le programme mise à niveau des sites balnéaires, ce programme vise l'aménagement et la valorisation de 123 plages non comprises, non inscrites dans le programme Plage propre, à travers le financement des actions suivantes: le renforcement des capacités des élus et cadres territoriaux, l'aménagement des plages, l'amélioration de la propreté des plages, le renforcement de la sécurité au niveau des plages, et enfin le renforcement des actions de sensibilisation et d'éducation à l'environnement. Ainsi, ma présentation prend fin. Je tiens à vous remercier pour votre attention. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, Duan. That was an overview of the intervention of Directorate General of the local community that are monitoring all the collectivities that are in charge of the territory of the beaches. They are the main stakeholder of the foundation. They are technical parts by building capacity that we are engaging together in convention that include all the responsible of the monitoring of the beach, and there is a second part related to financing the beaches. So the Ministry of Interior have every year a budget allocated to all municipalities in order to engage in this program. So there was an overview of the Mohammed VI Foundation and its intervention on the beach field. That was from the different perspective that we try to share with you, from the map perspective, which is regional, and then from the private sector point of view, and finally from the institutional part. So we hope that was fine and was clear. So we thank you for your time, we thank you for your attention, and we remain at your disposal for any or further question. Thank you. Is there any question in the audience, or it's okay? Okay.
Thank you. So my name is Asma Damri. I am representing the Agir Association from Al Husseima, and I want to thank the foundation Mohammed VI for the environment protection for the things that they are doing. It's actually an integrated vision who try to implement everyone in the sector. I had the honor to participate in a beach cleaning with the foundation in Al Husseima site, and it was really amazing. I was impressed about the impact on the youth and the students. This is really important to raise students from the young age to get to know more about the environment, about waste management, and that is the first step to change. And thank God in Morocco we have very important internship between the private sector, the governmental organization. I also want to talk about the law 2209, the coastal law that include the National Agency for Water and Forests and the Ministry of Fisheries to work together in the management of marine protected areas, which is also really good. So thank you so much for these presentations. That's all.
Thank you so much. So we have also the testimonial of Nigio, that she was so active, that she's also located in the Mediterranean area in Al Husseima in the north. They shared with us, they were participating at the Clean Beach program by their association Agir, which is a famous association in the north, that we thank by the occasion for their involvement and engagement toward this issue. Thank you. I don't know if there is any other intervention, question. No. So, thank you so much for your attention, and see you soon. If you don't mind, we would like to have a picture, if you're interested.